Go ahead and hit the alarm. Here we go.
Let's just do it. Why the not? At this time, like this was during the era where I was like, I really fell in love with wrestling. I was like so about it. And as Wrestle Reunion and slash WrestleCon now does, they have shows, right? So I was like going to the Dragon Gate show, which was so amazing. And like all these different shows, I was like, yes, dude. I was in the crowd, hitting my pen, just having a good old time, having some vino. And then it's so funny because I won't say his name, but if you know, you know, it's not hard but to put together. But the owner of who puts on Wrestle Reunion slash WrestleCon was right there, and I turned around and I was hitting my pen while I was waiting for my drink from the bartender. And when I turned around, I saw him standing right there, and I smiled and I blew the smoke out my nose and then walked away.
Okay.
So then it comes back to me. You got heat, Shelly. You got major heat with the owner. And I was like, what? How do I have heat? And there was a story that was told to me that the owner was talking about me saying, and then Shelly Martinez smoked up the whole whatever floor, da 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 da, and was putting it all on me. He was talking about Mike Tyson's room. And I stopped that person because they were from that company. I said, no. That was Mike Tyson's room. My room was on a completely other floor.
Okay.
My room was in a completely other floor. So why don't you tell the boss, if that's all mad at me for stinking up that floor, he needs to take it up with Mike Tyson. Because I was there because I was invited.
Go take it up with Mike Tyson. Let's see how that one ends.
But why do I have to? Why is it all of a sudden Shelly Martinez? Like
No. But I know the guy. I know who you're talking about. Let's see him. Hey, Mike. Yeah, what do you want? What do you want to say to me? What are you gonna do? We'll stop.
I feel I could be wrong. Hey, if you're out there watching this or your minions are watching this and getting back to you, let me know if I'm wrong. WrestleCon's coming up. You can tell me if you're going to, I'm sure you're going to be there.
Tell her at the end of her session, though.
Yes, exactly. I feel to this day that individual has this weird energy negatively towards me after that had happened, because my relationship and the vibe with that person and like working with them throughout the years after that and this, that, and the other, I feel he's jobbed me out. He's totally jobbed me out. And I feel it stems from the Mike Tyson situation. And I told people from his camp that story and to let him know that it wasn't me, it was Mike Tyson.
Well, and so you got to kiss his ass a little bit more and you'll get back in the good graces.
Well, that's
tell them that he's the greatest. It's the greatest thing ever. And, the company's the greatest company ever. And you couldn't think about signing anywhere else and blah, blah, blah. Then you'll be in the good graces. Maybe. He is a twat, okay? He is a jack off. He's a piece of shit. I do not like that guy.
Well, there you go. I have issues with him based on the treatment he gave me thereafter, especially because I've done a shoot interview, gave content. I was always game. I always put over that company because you know why? It wasn't even an ass kissy thing, Chad. I put over that company and everything that they were doing for so long because I dug it. I was like, yes, dude. My friends worked for him. Like, it was all positive vibes as far as I was concerned. And I, like, much like I've talked about so many times here on our show, because I have that trauma of being in the year 2000 professional wrestler, everything professional wrestling was so scarce here in SoCal, so I always feel like I wanna overshare. I wanna overshare with on my platforms, whatever, word of mouth, what's going on that's awesome as far as wrestling goes, because I want people to enjoy themselves. So I was so about this company because I wanted everyone and their mom to know what they were doing because I wanted them to enjoy themselves. So it's like what you're saying is if I said all these things, I actually used to feel that. I felt those things that you said that are fake and phony, they weren't at one point. But after that Mike Tyson incident, nothing was ever the same between me and that company. And I take issue with it because I told enough people in his camp what really happened. And I'm not even looking for an apology, just be normal to me. And ever since then has not been. I've been very excluded. Look, I know I wasn't on mainstream television for that long, but I put asses in seats still. Even in my old ass age now, I still can put asses in seats. So even it was more so then in that era I was messing with this company, like that was a prime time to make some money with me, brother, and they did. Miss Bikini Op USA was me, man. Not many girls would do it. I was one of the main chicks that would always do bikini ops. Why? There's money to be made. I know the assignment. I know the assignment. So just because all of a sudden you take issue with me because of my cannabis smoking, and it pisses me off because there's a lot of people across the board in the wrestling community that treat me like garbage because of my cannabis smoking. But if I was RVD, if I was the Godfather, if I was Mike Tyson, any of these men that are 420 friendly, that freaking even Sabu, someone that was very haphazard, they will excuse that. But the Shelly Martinez was smoking up the whole room. No, bitch. Like, no. And it makes me so mad because cannabis really did bring so much and continues to positive into my life. And to be judged just because, in my opinion, I'm not a, a man in this business, it pisses me off. I take issue with it. Maybe it's the absinthe. That's what's up.
Could be urging it a little bit, but I mean, I'm not like I can't say that I'm like your lifestyle, like I wouldn't be gelling with you normally outside of like I don't smoke. So you and I, like in that regard, that's the only thing that we don't gel on. But does that affect it? Am I sitting here judging you on that and being like, we can't do a show because you smoke?
Oh, you smoke. No.
Like
And you know why?
that's a deal breaker for our relationship now.
And that's the thing. Look at all the plethora, shout out Oguapo, the plethora of things that we do have in common, that there's people out there that allow the one thing that I've never once told you, come on, Chad, don't you think I've never, ever, because for me, even though I've been a little haphazard here and there just because, oops, I didn't know, cannabis to me is, and people in the business talk shit to me sometimes. They're like, stop saying medicating, you're getting high. You know who I learned the term medicating from? RVD. RVD says medicating. Does anyone tell RVD, dude, don't say medicating, you're just getting high? No, because he's RVD. So why is that?
And I'll be honest with you, I'll say this. Sorry to cut you off. I do that all the time.
Oh, you just do that all the time, Chad. Come on.
I just do it all the time. I'm never gonna not say it. I personally think RVD's cannabis lifestyle, how it's bandied about, I think it's kind of lame. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's, at this point, the way it's talked about, it's a little lame. But I don't feel that way when you talk about it or you market your stuff. Like, I feel differently about the way you indulge and the way you banny it about and market it out there versus RVD. I think RVD comes off, it's a little lame now. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's time to do that stuff more in the private side of your life than the public side. Like, I know we all want to see RVD. We do this thing and yay, there he is, whatever. But now it's kind of like the old guy. Like it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't hit the same for me. I was never like an RVD guy to begin with, but now it's like, but I get it. I get what you're saying. And they do make it acceptable the way he says medicate and all that and blah, 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 blah. But now I think it's a little lame.